Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forged Lines Forever. Today I have a 4v4 ladder match on the map Sandy River. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with blue team up here to the north and ending with team 2, also known as red team, to the south. Starting with the teal player of Martian going first land as a Seraphim. To his east in Stitch Blue, we have Mofo1 going first land as an Aeon. Continue on eastward, we have Goppy 4200. Almost said 420, but there's another zero there. Going first land in Royal Blue, and in the rearguard air slot for Team 1 for blue team. For the northwestern team, we have Hudek going first air in Amethyst Purple. So on Team 1 or blue team or northwestern team, we have not all the races represented. We have 2 UEF, a Aeon, and a Seraphim, so no Cybern Tech on that side of the field. Down here to the south for Team 2, starting with the rearguard air slot of Living Force, going first land in orange, the color orange. To the west in Chevy Crimson, we have Ned Bark going first land as a Seraphim. In Ruby Red, we have Don Gringo going first land as a Cybern. And last but not least, we on Team 2 on yellow team. On red team, we have Carlo Renerto. I think that's how you say it. I'm going to call him Carlo for this match. In Pac-Man Yellow, going first land, second air, as well as a Cybern. So on Team 2 side of things, there is no UEF tech. We have a doubling of the Cybern tech. So again, 1 Aeon and 1 Seraphim. In terms of reclaim available to our players for this game, we have 25,000 at when I hit the initial click, so probably about 26 most likely for the map. Decent amount of reclaim. In terms of mech situation, I mean, we have some dotted around. There's a grouping of 3 up here, they're not really super close. We have these kind of like cliff plateau sections, kind of nice little outposts, fire bases that our players will probably post up here. Probably another one right here as well. We have a decent amount of terrain that will block maybe some incoming fire. Not really missiles. It's not that tall. There is no water in this game, so no naval units to speak of. For those of you who do not like Navy, you will be welcome for that. For those of you who do, I apologize. Can't always cast a game that has water and can't always cast a game that doesn't have water. So take what you can get. And we have some early Selen plays out here from the teal player of Martian. Getting some nice intel going on. He has split them apart, so he's going to get a nice little view of what's going on down south. We have 2 comms on Team 1 moving into the middle, both the comm of Goppy and Mofo. Probably just going to secure the middle mechs here. Not really worth the 1 mechs, but might post up here on this upper plateau and be able to secure it. That was for, concentrated fire in terms of units coming into attack. Again, we have Mofo going for his respective side. Wouldn't be surprised to see anybody on Team 2 do the similar thing. In terms of racial disparities, while this game's still kind of slow a little bit, we have, rating disparities, not racial. We have 990 is the average for Team 2 and 985 for Team 1, so 5 points, amounting to pretty much a 100%, pretty close to that. So very even match here. You'll notice not really a whole lot of high-ranking players in this game. The highest rank is 1237 of Don Gringo, and the lowest being Goppy at 732. We had a drop over here to the east for Hudek, getting this reclaim set up, as well as some intel installation. Do love that. Be able to see incoming units, as well as another PD to help assist in defense. Good grouping of structures and units there. Comm of Carlo being shot at by a bomber. Wanted to throw out some bombs out of the chute, just, lighten the load there. We have engineers on approach to the middle of the map here for the Ruby Red player of Don Gringo, and we have that bomber going after the NGs. Gets 1 kill, but is going to get shot down by that interceptor, so 1 kill is better than none. First kill of the game, if I didn't miss anything else. Multiple intel installations here for everybody on Team 1. I think 1 for each player except for Hudek, who's going to build one here pretty soon. So, sub 5 minutes, everybody has at least some sort of intel. Very good use of technology there. We have 2 upgrades. One of them has been paused for Ned Bark, he's going for the speed and range on his gun. And T2 for Don Gringo. So turtling, well, as much as you can turtle with a Cybern. And aggressive play from the Seraphim on Team 2. Again, we're seeing a mirroring effect on both sides of the map. The respective, west and east, whatever that position is called. Moving along the edge of the map, trying to secure this eastern side for Team 2 and the western side for Team 1. Trying to create this kind of like vertical cut down the middle. So far, it's kind of like a diagonal. A little bit. Looks like Team 1 owns a little bit more of the percentage, but we do have incoming forces here for Don Gringo to upset the balance of power. These Mantis go after those strikers, the MA-12s, probably after the M1 Abrams. That's kind of the style of the naming convention for those units. But unfortunately for those strikers, the Mantis outnumber them. And now they're able to move up the middle. Oh, okay. Well, is that water? Okay, I do apologize. There's a tiny bit of water on either side of the map, but it's not usable. So, almost at an entirely, soaked up, dried up map. No water anywhere, but apologies for that. Didn't notice those till right then and there. Gun range going down for Mofo. Looks like that upgrade for Nedbark has been not restarted, but resumed. And we have a gun speed and range going down for Carlo. So again, lots of aggressive plays out here from Team 2 in terms of comm usage. The comm of Martian doesn't have any upgrades, but it's going to face these Thams. Overcharges one straight up. Takes out its hit points quite quickly. And now Martian is going to retreat. There's not enough tanks to really mount that much of a issue for him. But there are a factory back here to the south, as well as a decent amount of contingent of units here from Living Force. So the air player getting into the land just a little bit isn't pumping out as much air as you would expect from the air-focused player. We have the air-focused player of Team 1 going for his T2 upgrade, about a little over half done. So we're seeing kind of a divergence in strategies for the two players in terms of the airplay. Bunch of flares, the little, Aeon Mech Marines, the little walkers, whatever you want to call them. Doing some little, scavenging efforts as well. Not scavenging, but raiding efforts, going after probably this engineer that's trying to run, but it can only move so far. The little legs on those flares are just a little bit faster. The engineer is seen. A couple shots into it, kills it. Take out the intel installation. Very good move there. We do have units trying to cut off the approach. Unfortunately, it's still not enough. And these Thams will take out their enemy cousins and be able to push forward. There's not really a whole lot of units to block this push. Of course, there are reinforcement units all the time from Martian. So it looks like these flares are going after the engineers. Very good use of those flares. Taking out those weaker units, slowing down production, slowing down reclaim, all of that. Looks like Team 2 has now taken the middle of the map. Would not be surprised to see maybe these units come up the hill. They're probably wary of this incoming force over here as well. Mofo does move them onto the hill to secure that position. Probably builds up some PD as well at some point. Building a radar installation there as well. Good move on there. Fortunately, I think it's just close enough. If some Zui or other artillery sat right here, could shoot at it. But again, can't plan for everything all the time. We are 8 minutes in, so not really a huge issue in terms of placement of structures for now. Later on, obviously, missiles and all of that make a huge difference. Most of the mexes have now been claimed by either team. Some of them have died off, though, to enemy plasma fire or missiles or projectiles, whatever the heck you want to call them. But Thams are being shot at by Thams. We have a PD trying to be built, but the engineer does die, unfortunately. The comm of Nedbark, I mean, one thing to say, he is being aggressive all the way, almost to the western edge of the map. This is a 10 by 10, so not very far to walk. But again, decent amount. We have the comm of Martian. He's going to retreat to try to intercept that comm. But I think the damage, unfortunately, is going to be done. Nedbark is going to be able to do a lot with this gun. Comm takes out the rest of the most of the hit points for that PD. Doesn't want that being built up. We have a Zui appearing, so we have an Ilshi appearing for Martian, so that will definitely not help. Half of the hit points were taken out in one overcharge burst. So he is going to force his opponent back. I wouldn't be surprised. I probably would have stopped, taken my units, and just slammed the comm. Taking that comm out. That way eliminated a player early on. Of course, that would give the eco to another player, and you might not want that this early. So, again, there's always that worry in the back of your mind. If I want the kill, but if I get the kill, I'll give my other opponents more eco, and if I give more opponents eco, it's probably not going to do well. So destroying all the infrastructure first would be better. He needs to retreat at some point. Good thing he's pulling back now. We have units being built up to cut off any retreat. We have some run by over here as well from these THAMs. So going after some. That last mechs would be my my thing that I would go after. We have a possible fight here in the middle from Team 1 and Team 2. We have PD built up to try to just pick at the units out here from Gopi 4200. Again, I'm going to say 420 at some point. Calling it right now. Another aggressive comp from Carlo, pushing forward, taking out PD, and probably will go after this decent-sized group of engineers. A lot of them building the Trident, Triads, not Trident. I think that's a different unit. I can't. Stupid environment. I wanted to get a nice, flat angle, but it's really hard because of the cove that they've dug themselves in. But that engagement here from Don Gringo didn't really go as planned. He didn't have as many units, but he does have the PD. So he will be able to stave off any incoming fire for now. We have all of his units, however, have left and are going after Mofo. So 2 comms for Team 1 pretty much out in the open. And now it looks like Nedbark is going to cut off any retreat. The Mofo is the target. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 just by 10 ahead of Martian. So that'd be a good comm to grab early on. Additional units here from Living Force going to move in and support with the Aurora, as well as THAMs moving in as well. I love the coordination from Team 2 here. Lots of different units in terms of factions and, of course, players, all trying to concentrate the efforts on one target. Mofo might get out of here. If he can make it onto this ridge, he might be safe. But there's a lot of reclaim here. Sorry, I don't mean to zoom out all back and forth. But I can't get the reclaim. 7,000 reclaim on screen as of right now. Some of it is hidden behind the minimap, of course. But Ned is chasing down Mofo. Mofo is now in his sights, and this is gonna be a kill as long as Ned and Mofo keep walking. Looks like Mofo's trying to dodge some incoming artillery shots, but of course that's not going to do well. I think he's going to kamikaze into that group of units, and that is going to be a kill for Team 2, dropping this game from a 4v4 to a 4v3 in favor of Team 2. Nedbark is rewarded with that kill, and all of those units will transfer over to Martian, it looks like. Wouldn't be surprised. Yep, there they go. So now that increases Martian's eco to 106, doubling pretty much anybody else in the game. Well, almost doubling Ned's, but just barely. Almost not doubling, I should say. But Ned is going to start scooping up some reclaim. Wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I guess all that reclaim was knocked out, unfortunately, for Team 1. Martian is going to come in and just maybe go after comm of Ned. Ned might want to start retreating at this point. Almost takes out that Ilshi with one shot. Got a couple more shots in. Would kill it. We have T2 land has been completed for Don Gringo, as well as T2 land for Carlo, as well as T2 land for Ned. Okay, Ned has it. Don Gringo has it. Carlo has it. Living Force doesn't have any at 13 minutes. It's not looking good in the air game because Team 1 has T2 air. Wouldn't be surprised that it's going to have to build 3 more Janus and then 1 transport. It's going to build T3. So Living Force has to get in the air game at some point. Isn't even prioritizing it. I don't really like that move. That's kind of dangerous. I don't really like it. But we do have a group of units out here from Team 2, out here from Carlo. Going to start assaulting this main position. Looks like the mobile missile launchers are the action of the day, the call of the day. The missiles splitting from the incoming missile launchers will be able to defer. They split the damage, of course, but what allows them is to still do damage. It's interesting because they don't do hardly any damage, and it looks like most of them are impacting the shield. Let's see if another one fires off. You can tell like hardly any hit points are taken out by the split. Yeah, only like 30 hit points. That's not really that great. Don't know what's happening with that. We have a T1 and T2 force out here from Don Gringo. He is trying to PD creep. Unfortunately, there are inbound missiles from these units out here from Gapi, as well as tridents as well. Triads, not tridents. I was looking for that missile launcher. Where is it? There it is right there. Where we also have some mongoose in the zone as well. Rhinos assaulting that T1 force out here from Martian. Unfortunately, those Aurora are just not very strong, and the Rhinos are very beefy. Takes out another Intel installation. Tries to build an Oblivion. Those NGs will die, unfortunately. More Aurora come in. They should be staying at range to take out these Rhino, but I think the Rhino actually have the same. So there's the hoplites. There's the Rhino. The Aurora, a little bit bigger, but I think the hoplites have the extra range, so that allows them to push forward. A huge land army out here from Living Force, all T1 though, but it's going to probably push the western side, probably try to cut off Martian's ability to come in from the west and force him to stay about right here, maybe even back here as well. Oblivion turrets in the back line, layered defenses, very good to see that. And now, of course, due to that extra eco, we see Harbs on the field. T3 has been achieved for Martian at 15 minutes. Do we have anything else going on for Team 1? I know we're going for T3 air at some point. HQ is idle. I don't really see much of anything else. We have a T2 headquarters inside that little corner there for the air player of Hudek. I don't really agree with that positioning just due to the fact that it's under fire, and now it's going to be overrun at this point. There are some triads, but the calm is nearby. There are more units coming in all the time. Once the shield depletes, it's kind of game over for this little fire base down here in the south. The calm does have the gun upgrade as well, targeting the triads first. Definitely a good move there. There's only 2 more remaining. The pillars are being disabled. Takes out the shield. Very good placement there, making sure the shield doesn't regen. We have some bombers on approach. We also have... Do we have anything else? No, just bombers. We do have some Janus, so that will take out the rest of those T2 units as well. But unfortunately, I think the damage is done. As long as Carlo can bag that T2 headquarters, that's going to be a good play for him. Janus over the top. Where are the interceptors? Where are the ASF? Where is the air support? Where's the anti-air? He has nothing in the mix. He has a couple anti-air coming online, but this is going to be slow to kill off the rest of these Janus. Another series of bombs get dropped. Napalm just lighting the area around. Carlo just being baked in that fire. Martian was killed. Apologies for missing it. Looks like Ned just went straight for the calm of Martian. This game drops from a 4v3 to a 4v2. The units out here that were transferred over to Hudek paused, just because that's just what they do when they get transferred over. And that allows some breathing room out here from Ned. That might have just saved him. There were Harbs inbound as well as Ilshis. He has some Ilshis of his own. He's trying to make it out of there as best he can. He has no real land force to speak of. I would like to see these Aurora being pushed forward. Multiple groups of Aurora that could just push forward and at least delay this incoming force. But the Harbs are closing in. This might go from a 4v2 to a 3v2 here pretty quick. Again, apologies for missing that kill. Focused on what's going on in the north, and of course, looks like Carlo does knock it out. And Ned is going to die here. But he did get a kill. He actually got 2 kills, technically, in the beginning of the game. So not a huge loss in terms of him. He was the lowest rated player on Team 2. So this will allow Team 2 more eco management. And now the units in from Living Force move in. Kind of a little late on that front. I know they were Aurora, but they could have at least delayed some incoming force. The Harbs are going to just sweep the rest of this southwestern side. Team 1 is now pushing the middle. There's a couple zappers in the mix, but the incoming missile fire, it looks like it's too great. The calm is even being targeted by those missiles as well. It's not really looking good. Looks like control of the west in the air is going to be for Hudek, and the control of the east is going to be under Gapi's focus and control. But again, Hudek did have some units up here to the east, but they were summarily taken out. And his comm is now running away. Both the comms in the northeast section are running away. Some experimental. You can Monkey Lord easy with this mass and just win, says Ned. Did he give a T3, says Ned? I mean, maybe he was talking about building those Othams. The Othams are now being built. We have PD just trying to take out all these units. They are going after Living Force's commander. Living Force not in his main base. The Harbs are nearby. I don't even know if he has overcharge. Overcharge is possible, but again, if he doesn't have any E-storage, he doesn't, does he? Let's see. He does. He has a lot of E-storage, so why... Oh, sorry about that. Why isn't he overcharging is my concern. I mean, just because you're an 850 doesn't mean you can't overcharge. I know some players have it just on auto and some players have it manual, so... that's disappointing. It might have been enough to take out the comm. I don't know. Only 2 Harbs with Othams on the way. I don't know if it was enough. There's even there's some flares in the mix just helping out. Oh, that's so cute. But it's not going to do enough, and the Harbs are being taken out. This does give veterancy to Living Force, so this will wrap up his commander's hit points quite well. But those Aurora are one-shotted by the Harb. One more shot. There it goes. Does not even get him above 1 rank. Units out here from the west, from Hudek, trying to push this middle section, trying to come in from behind, but unfortunately there's just too many units, too many PD, and it will result in a lot of deaths for Hudek. Not really a lot of good tactical plays there. Unfortunately, he could have gotten Ned faster had his units, and he micromanaged those units a lot faster from the Martian, as well as he might have gotten the comm of Living Force, so dropped it back to a 2v2, but we will never know. We have, unfortunately for Team 2, however, T3 gunships, those broadswords, with additional T3 forces from Hudek as well in the form of Harbs. This is not going to go good. He's going to charge. Carlo's going to charge these units in, take out, I think, most of the ground forces, but there are just more coming in all the time. And it's not going to go good. You know, you got these pillars in here. You got the broadswords, which is still not dead, by the way. And looks like the tracers being spammed up here are not going to do anything as well. Where is Team 2's air? There's no air. What is going on? Oh, no, that's land. There are no headquarters for land. So for air at 22 minutes, if you can believe this, if you can't believe this or can believe it, let me know down in the comments. But 22 minutes and no T2 headquarters. Apologies. Yeah, look at that. That's insane to me. Just there's hardly any air on the field from either team as well. So I mean, it is a lower ranked game, and I understand, you know, all of that, but having no air on any side. I mean, you have a couple gunships and that's it. Some interceptors. I mean, you have more interceptors and air support from Carlo than you do the main air player, and he's going for T2 land, not even just built an air factory just to build it. Somebody else on Team 2 is going to have to do air, because it looks like Living Force is not going to. He's, you know, Carlo's trying to take out gunship, takes out one more of them. This push starting to peter out, starting to lose a lot of its gusto. We do have ASFs going to be taking out those interceptors. But what is going on with Team 2's air? Or the lack thereof? Like, what is going on? And the comm of Goppy Control Ks? A rage quitter. Don Gringo. Well, I don't know why he quit. I mean, his team is actually winning the air game. I mean, he is being assaulted on his main base, but there were, you know, Spectres in the area to help assist. This wasn't a complete loss. So I don't know why he quit. I don't, again, everyone that watches my channel regularly knows I don't like rage quitters, just due to the fact that just because it looks like you're going to lose doesn't mean you are going to lose. There's plenty of games on the channel that demonstrate that. You know, obviously, it's not the funnest thing to just, you know, build everything up once again. But your team had air. Like, Team 2 isn't even trying to attempt air. All you would have to do is spam up some strat bombers, spam up some, you know, Janus or whatever, and that is game. But that's definitely disappointing. A lot of the Mexes will go down. He probably might have died anyways, but I mean, only losing a couple factories, only losing a couple Mexes, honestly wasn't even that great for this push. It just mass dumped a bunch of mass on the front door of Team 1. How much was that exactly? Let's see if I can get a nice accurate counting. 2,100. I mean, that's a decent amount of mass. I mean, there's some over there too being counted, but I mean, that's Monkey Lord territory is what that is. So just surprised by copy. Just very disappointing. But yeah, another land factory. We have another backup air factory. Different faction though, so good to see Hudek is at least decentralizing his air. Good move on his part. He's producing T3 air without a T3 pigeon. That's something you don't see every day. Well, I guess there is one right here, to be fair. He's building a Colossus as well. So he's trying to do with what he can. Again, another opportunity to just push the calm of Living Force. Living Force has additional units from his teammates and himself nearby, but those harbs get in pretty close, and that might be the kill here. We have a parashield nearby, or an asylum, excuse me, not the parashield. These units should be focusing down the comm. Take out the shield. Yep, there it goes. Okay, now attack the comm. Okay, there you go. Look how fast those hit points fall on that comm. Looks like Hudek is not micromanaging them as much. It's definitely disappointing. A second attempt, a second time that comm could have died. Multiple T2 factory headquarters are being built for Living Force. So again, somewhat disappointing. Of course, this is a lower ranked game. I don't mean to rage sometimes. It's just frustrating when you see players do stuff. You're like, why aren't you doing it? You should be doing it. But Carlo's now building into the air game, going straight to T3, going to help assist in that front. Again, now it's a 3v1 in favor of Team 2. Team 2 owning probably about 65, close to 70% of the map. I mean, it's all in, Hudek's hands. So, they always, you can always come back for the most part in a game. There's never a never come back. I've seen lots of comebacks that have happened. Spectre gunships on approach. There's no anti-air in this land army, so these Spectre gunships are able to operate en masse. There's also some broadswords in there as well. Oh wait, no, I guess there is some. Oh no, there is some mobile AA. There's kind of hiding with the Othams there. I don't really see any effort on the eastern side. Living Forces all the way over here for some reason. I don't know why. You could easily come in and take out this land production facility over here. I mean, yeah, there's a firebase down here. PD creep is happening down here to the south, but looks like he's trying to exploit the weakness on this eastern side, but there are a decent amount of pillars being spammed up here for Hudek, going to secure that his forward production line. Hudek just sitting in the middle of his base. He has T3. He's building a shield and going for Ravagers, so establishing another layered defense. Good move on that front, making sure he has something to fall back to. But we have engineers and the furthest T2 radar I have ever seen. Very aggressive placement on that thing. It aren't even going for the mechs. Just went straight for the radar and went, I want to see everything. Why not? You can see that radar can see almost everything in that main base. Fairly far forward. Not really worth the risk. At least put a shield around it or something. We have engineers now up here for some reason. Not going after mexes. I don't know where they're going. Should be given orders to take those mexes and start pumping out. Even if it's T1, I think it's in about less than a minute you'll have the eco pay, like the mass payoff will equal out to 0. I think maybe it's 40 seconds. It's 45 seconds. It's like 40, 45 seconds that it pays for itself, and then everything else is just profit. We have some gunships on approach here to the north. We have a decent amount of these rhinos, as well as some vipers. We have some counterintelligence. We have some bricks here as well. Good mix of units here. We have a couple anti-air as well. Hudek finishes his Galactic Colossus, the first Colossus and first experimental of the game. He's going to start spamming those out. The second experimental follows right after that from Don Gringo. He builds, I mean, it could be a Monkey Lord. It is a Monkeyloid, and he built it in the middle of the map, so less walking time, less travel time for him. Good use of map control there on his side of things. We have units over here to the west pushing forward. It's just going to be a slow strangulation of Hudek on this map. He does have a small, again, fire base down here to the south, but part of his main base, part of one of his main bases, I should say, is going to fall. Shield generator is starting to be built. It's not fast enough, unfortunately. These units out here from Don Gringo need to be pushed up just a little more. They're going after the engineers. Not a bad play there, but that's just a lot of free damage. We have that Colossus being supported by a host, a horde, mind you, of Harbs and assisting units from the Redeemers. Good mix of units there. Would like to see some shields, but besides that, very good mix of units. Starts to take out these extra forces here from Don Gringo. Going to give it some veterancy here. Already at 3K out of 13.8, so it's going to rep up its veterancy here fairly quickly. Don Gino says, oh no. And looks like this force out here to the west takes out decent amount of that main base. Target the land factory so they don't produce Othams. Gets one off the line. Target the factory. They have to rebuild that and then go after the units. Let's go back to that experimental. The units starting to trail behind, but they're still close by. We have intel installation good there. We're having some PD creep. Again, some intel creep down here to the south. Living Force retreating into his main base. Still has not built his a T2 air factory. He is the air player. That's driving me nuts. We have the land player of Carlo going into the air game. And I appreciate Carlo for doing this. He notices his teammate is not doing what he should be doing and decides, I'm going to help. I have some extra eco. I'm going to do it. So good on him for doing that. The Monkeyloid is now pushing into the main base, dealing lots of damage, but is being shot at by a bunch of Ravagers and gunships. It probably will die here. We'll take out the rest of the Ravagers, I think. Might survive. Gets a Rankin Vet, but it's only going to last a few more seconds, unfortunately. Anti-air units from Don Gringo are trying to stave off the incoming fire. The Monkeyloid is not moving. Will it take out that fusion reactor that's being built? No. Oh, it barely gets taken out by that gunship. Oh, that's gotta suck. These units aren't moving. They could be going after, the pigeons or something, but they're not. Definitely mismanaged there. Make stand here, says Don Gringo. Yeah, we have that incoming Colossus. Kind of not moving. Kind of moving. Probably waiting for additional forces. Let's get a nice cinematic shot of the incoming fire. Nice little shot of the incoming doom of this main base. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Or in this case, they weren't ready. Just the slow march of that Colossus. Targeting the Othams first, sucking up some more. There's Ilshis in the mix. We see the hard fire coming in over the top. Oh, no, over the top. Under the screen. From below the screen. Let's see, how are the hit points on that chassis? Well, they've almost fallen, so it's still alive, though. The Harbs come in, deal a decent amount of damage to those PD, and it looks like he wasn't ready, says that Colossus. And the Pigeons are now going to fall. Takes out some SAM sites as well. This is not going to look good. Don Gringo saying, no, this wasn't good. Well, if you had a decent Air Force, this wouldn't be a problem. Not that I'm biased or anything, but I try to remain unbiased as much as I can, but it's just so frustrating to not see that. We have some Aurora trying to do what they can, but again, they're super, tinfoil, as Guile says, so not really that strong. They're going to march straight into the main base of Living Force. That's going to knock Living Force out of this match here, unfortunately for him. The calm of Living Force is actually over here. Built some artillery installation trying to deal with that fire base, but the rest of this incoming force, the Colossus has now repped up to 20 plus 25 or above 25% hit points. So, in the yellow now. So very impressive on that front. There's nothing here. All of it is gone. There's nothing here to protect the comm of anybody, pretty much. Carlos trying to spam up PD, spam up shields. We have, Loyalists and Bricks, and we have the, the flight of the Bangers trying to leave the main base. Those Harbs are incoming. The PD opens up, but they can't get a targeting solution due to the environment. Should have pushed those forward just a little bit. The bricks are going to offer there. They're a little bit taller. Well, yeah, I guess they're a little bit taller. But they can shoot that Colossus, though, just barely. And so that Colossus will take lots of hit points. I like the target priority on the Colossus. That is the big problem here. The Harbs can be dealt with later. No, NG, no. Those NGs are being sucked up. There's a loyalist just being sucked away. And the comm of Carlo goes down. Colossus goes down as well. So now it's a 2v1 in favor of Team 2 still. We have assisting bricks over here to the west from, looks like it was from Don Gringo as well. But the air factory is still alive, so that is a good plus for Team 2. And that is handed over to Don Gringo as well. Don Gringo's been doing a lot. And as Team 2's base has fallen, Team 1's base has definitely fallen. And Carlo says T3 air. 34 minutes in, somebody says something about it. That is insane. Insane. Some people are saying, well, this is why I like high-rated games, because, we know players know what to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I get that, and I understand your opinion, and you have a valid opinion. Like, sometimes it is difficult to watch a game that, some of the players don't know what they're doing. But I like these types of games only because it shows what we can improve on. Like, oh, this player did this. Do I do that? Or do I do a similar thing? Oh, I can improve on that. Or, oh, there's this thing that a lower rated player did that a higher rated player did not. I should be doing that. That's a pretty cool idea. But Living Force is starting to be surrounded by the forces out from Hudek here in the south. The rest of those defenses and structures are starting to be wiped out. We have incoming bricks. They might be tasked with taking them out. There are some Harbs. There's some Redeemers. There's some Ilshis. So good mix of units here. Ranging from T1 to T3. So not skipping out on the cannon fodder of Team 1 units. But it looks like we had some, formation orders, and now all of these units are surrounding this hillside. It's like, no, this is my cliff, mine. There's a lot of anti-air. It looks like Hudek is spamming up PD as well, so he's going to turtle. He is a UEF, at least on the chassis form of things. So again, the UEF are known for their turtling, so don't be surprised to see that. Actually, bricks go after that firebase built up from the advancement of that GC. And honestly, I guess the bricks will survive. It was looking kind of like that firebase would, last out a little longer. But Fire Force, Living Force is now officially surrounded. Nowhere to go. He should have retreated to his main base while he had the chance. Living Force going to stand there and eat Plasma Fire and take out a lot of hit points on those units. So now it goes from a 3v1 to a 1v1 in about a couple of minutes. So far we've seen 2 experimentals, one a GC, one a Monkey Lord. Both did massive amounts of damage to enemy bases. We have another GC, it looks like, built in the back line. Why this isn't being sent to a large anti-air force, I have no idea. But we have one player left on red team, that is Don Gringo, and one player on blue team, which is Hudek. And again, if somebody could please I want Team 1 to be something other than the purple or the blue or the royal blue, either the teal or the regular blue, like the Stitch blue or sky blue, whatever you guys prefer it to be called. Easier to read, but it's not the royal blue, so it's not that bad, but still. We haven't talked about Eco a whole lot. Team 1, or Hudek, is on 279, while Don Gringo is at 181. Again, a lot of these mexes are gone. We're having some efforts to start rebuilding those, I would assume, at some point. We have some engineers on reclaim orders. Does Don Gringo have a full mass bar? No, he is spending mass. Maybe he's building another experimental. He's building a crab. If Hudek knows about it, which, he's pushing forward. We have 2 monkeys, though, nearby, so... Oh, is he going to go for it? Looks like he's going to go for it. They do have long-range cannons, so not a lot of damage, but, a decent amount. Able to target some other units while the main cannon is firing, if it is in range. and that is going to force the GC back. It looks like Hudek's main idea is to just build a rock for his enemies to crash themselves upon. I think that's how the phrase goes. Something like that. And pretty much just build a base strong enough to survive any storm or weather any storm. I mean, he has the SMD, so that's good. Make sure he doesn't get nuked. It's probably a good idea there, especially when he's going to turtle. The GC being built up. We have another GC being built. We have that Fat Boy also being built. Gunships being built. No, those are ASF. We are having some gunships. Decent amount in the back line as well. But very rare game. We're at 39 minutes. Hudek is on 22 ASF, and Don Gringo is on none. Right? Yep, none. So, not, again, weird strategies going out here for this game. It isn't a super low rated, but it isn't obviously like, we're in Joe, not even close to pro territory. I mean, the highest rated player in the game is still alive, and he's the closest one to being a pro, so, going to be an interesting end to the match. We have a Colossus facing down 2 Monkey Lords and some bricks. The brick is going to walk forward and just get its face just lasered by that laser face. Whenever I say laser face or eye laser, I always think of Taser Face from Guardians of the Galaxy. The next episode of Ahsoka released, if you're watching it when this releases to yesterday, I'll be watching it after I finish this recording, because I'm recording it right before the episode drops. And hopefully it's good. Hayden Christensen's going to be in it. Sorry, spoilers. Do apologize. That kind of just slipped out. I think a lot of people know about it, but if no one has watched it, that he is in it. So, and he's supposed to be heavily featured, but unfortunately, the Monkey Lord, the first one, is now dead. The Colossus is now dead. We have one more Monkey Lord still alive. A lot of AA coming off of a lot of these bouncers, a lot of these bangers. So a lot of the gunships are going to fall. I like the play out from Don Gringo. He saw that his enemy was building a lot of air, decided to spam up anti-air, mobile at that matter, and now a lot of that firepower is now muted. The ASF can't really get close because the anti-air is nearby. We have some NGs in the back line. Gonna probably get some reclaim orders. I would go after the GC first, and then go after the monkey. Get the farthest away reclaim first. The Monkey Lord doesn't want to get super close because that Ravager fire opened up and just is annihilating that hit points. It dies. Yep, and that's where you don't get close to Ravagers, because they hurt, and they hurt a lot. To the range on all of them, as some of them obviously are right here, but a lot of them are in this range. So if they walk by, that's pretty much game over. We need Team 1, Hudek needs intel to be able to see them, which he doesn't have in his main base, which he should build. I mean, at least build a T2. You don't have to build an Omni right now, but I'd build an Omni, because why not? But there is a crab on approach. The crab is starting to, get closer and closer, takes out all those NGs trying to build that Galactic Colossus. The Fat Boy is about to finish. It's above 11,000 hit points, fairly close. I love this. The anti-air units, instead of attacking from the east, are going to move in behind the crab to defend it. Very good movement of units there. Had he charged them in first, a lot of them would have been eradicated. But he's going to hold them in reserve behind this crab to be able to assist in its defense. Very good placement of units there. We do have, again, Firebase wars still going down in the south. A lot of that Firebase down here from Don Gringo is starting to be attacked. He almost has another Monkey Lord. Isn't spamming up any ASF or bombers or whatever, but is just spamming up intel. And that's honestly a good move because he wants to know what's going on. Would prefer the spy planes because, they fly faster and have more hit points and whatnot. The crab starting to inch its way closer and closer, takes out the rest of that building Colossus. The Fat Boy has now finished. Lots of fire going down on that Megalith. Sub 50% hit points. So, probably should walk it in. Probably could have walked it in, honestly. Elects not to. These engineers are gonna get crushed. Oh, don't tell me he's gonna build PD on top of the crab and just annihilate it by a death of 1,000 cuts. That is just dirty. Just building a bunch of engineers, but unfortunately, a lot of them were killed off by bricks and whatnot. It looks like I don't know what his plan is. He's gonna be able to hide from the Ravagers because they can't attack, through a cliffside. The Fat Boy can kind of inch its way over. Most of its shells make it over. Some of them miss time. Miss them once in a while. But I don't know his plan. Maybe that was a misclick. I don't know. It's kind of weird. The Megalith does drop sub 25% hit points. Not really looking good for the health of that Megalith. The monkey has decided to deal with the nonsense over to the south and start taking out the fire base, targeting all of those artillery, and is now going to go after those Utashalas. There's a whole lot of them, though. Probably would have liked another Monkey Lord to speed this up. Almost finishes it, though. Needs to get a shield around that column again. Doesn't want any bombers or nonsense killing it. That Fat Boy is going to be somewhat of a problem. But if Don Gringo has enough units and forces, he might just steamroll it at this point. He has a sizable amount of bricks. I don't know what he's doing with these. Take him over to the west, deal with this enemy force. We have a run-by possibility here to the south. We have some Harbs that made it all the way down here. I don't know where are those... Oh, they're moving here to probably intercept the incoming forces. But again, there is a hill right here, so not really the best thing there. Leave main base for now. Destroy the rest. Nah, I mean, maybe. In terms of eco, we have... That is not... He does not have 16,000. We have 260 something for Team 2 of Don Gringo, and Hudek has 183. So, in terms of total mass accrued, it's almost even, which is very surprising. Sub 1 million. Incoming Harbs on approach. This is not good. The bricks are too slow to intercept. There are some coming in the back line. Of course, we had all of these servers built before from the Colossus that stormed the main base. So all of these units are gonna die. Maybe some damage will get done, but unfortunately for Hudek, it was a good play. The infrastructure was just too strong, unfortunately for him. Where did that Monkey Lord go? Well, that Monkey Lord's there. We have another Monkey Lord there. We have the Fat Boy going to probably start pushing out. We have more and more, what are those? Sams and Ravagers being spammed up. So, turtle for the UEF player of Hudek. He's lost access to... Does he just have UEF? I think he just has UEF. He doesn't have access to anything else. He lost the Seraphim. And he lost the A. Oh, no. He has Seraphim down here. So, it doesn't lose access to everything. But again, we are at 46 minutes. It's just, this match is very surprising. You would think that Gringo would just, again, spam up some air and just launch it in. I do appreciate the fact that he has now switched over to Sam's 2 spy planes, so he's be able to see the base more. But again, it's not really doing a whole lot. You need to move, from different angles to get a better view. He's able to see pretty much everything. He doesn't see the comm, though. The ASF have moved forward, though. So this, one line of spy planes isn't enough. We have 2 monkeys and a crab. Crab is decently, it's looking very bad. The Monkey Lord has repped up back above 75%. So essentially 2 Monkey Lords and a weakened crab versus a Fat Boy. Now, if the forces from Don Gringo can get close enough, that Fat Boy is pushing forward. Not a good idea. You have gunships nearby to help support, but it's not enough. Fat Boys, once the shield goes down, are fairly weak. Building a power station outside of your defense is not necessarily the best idea, but, it is an idea. This firebase down here hasn't really done a whole lot. It's just kind of sat here, just existing. It's annoyance for Team 2, but they're just like, let's avoid it. Who cares? The gunship's now being used to take out the bricks. Good move here, taking out some additional units to the west. Doesn't want them to regroup with the main force in the middle. Large TAC missile battery. Does Hudek have a response to that? Well, no. He does not. And this is one of those instances of... If you notice your opponent isn't doing a certain thing, whether that be building anti-nuke or building air units or building TMD to help defend against, incoming missiles. Those incoming missiles are on their way. Where are they going? Well, they're going, looks like maybe the main base. I mean, the comm is there standing next to a pigeon. Wouldn't recommend that. The comm has T3 on its chassis, so lots of hit points. Missiles are inbound, impacting the shields, impacting more shields. Does Hudek notice? Hudek moves. Good move on that. Going to get undershoot coverage. Okay, he does have an Omni. Maybe he built that earlier. But they are targeting the central pigeon. Very good placement of that. Going to take out the SMD. The comm is going to walk right next to it. Are there more inbound missiles? No. There's no inbound missiles. Don Gringo moves his forces in. More missiles are launched. Would have probably have liked to see more missiles built up first and then spam them out. But, now he's going to build some buzz kills to help defend against those incoming missiles. Lost the opportunity. You only get one chance most of the time in FAF, so you got to use it while you have it. But that crab has ripped up some hit points. The Ravagers open up. That Monkey Lord is taking its first volley. Kind of hurts a lot, all that plasma fire. Shields are starting to buckle. Crab takes out the shield. Lasers open up from the first Monkey Lord, or the lead Monkey Lord. Takes out the shield, takes out Ravagers. There's Percival's now appearing here to the north. Definitely going to hurt that Monkey Lord. The first Monkey Lord is going to fall. There are bricks inbound as well. I think we can kind of see where this game is going. Let me turn off all the things so you guys get a nice cinematic shot. The first Monkey Lord falls. The second Monkey Lord falls. The crabs are the only crab is being assaulted. Oh, don't just stand there, and you need to keep walking. Oh, you need to keep walking. No, you need to keep walking with the crab. Oh no, the crab falls. The bricks are getting close to the main base, though. Shields are starting to fall. They're targeting the pigeons. Good move on that. Going to use that AoE splash damage from the structures being volatile. Bricks fire up, take out a decent section of those defenses, though. There's another section of bricks moving in. They target the second pigeon. Pigeon falls. Shields fall. Looks like the comm of Hudek is trying to spam up those Ravagers once more. Looks like the missiles go after the shields on that fat boy. Takes out the shields. There's still more bricks in tow. Take out another pigeon there. There's still a decent battery of Ravagers here in the middle of the base, but that air grid is gone. There's some Ravagers being spammed up in the back, of course. Just, it hurts. Everything just hurts for Hudek. Would have liked to see that push been a little more successful, but again, there are now missiles inbound. Where are they going for? Going for the HQ. Going after the comm of Hudek. Oh, and that was a kill with those missiles. Good placement of those missiles for Don Gringo. That is a GG in chat. Living Force gives a GG to the observers. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was, a different kind of match. It wasn't, a pros versus Joe. It wasn't a Phantom. It wasn't a high-rated game. It was kind of a low-rated game. Still hope everybody enjoyed it. And again, thank you much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please like and comment down below. Like and subscribe. Of course, do all the little YouTube algorithm thingamajigs. I greatly appreciate it. And again, another thanks to everyone for watching till the end, hearing my little ramblings at the end. And I will see all of you, especially you right there, you looking at the screen. I will see you in the next one.